said we'd meet again.
And here we are. At the end of the world.
You said I'd shut many eyes forever. You were right about that too.
Brown eyes. Green eyes.
And blue eyes. What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
Hey everyone, Mac is back, and today we're going to discuss the Spear Commanders in the Siege of Winterfell and what is a good lineup to put together. There are quite a few of these Spear Commanders and quite a few good skills on the commanders when they've redone this, so let's get into it. Alright, so let's go through these. We'll start up here on the top left. We'll start with Salma, and her skill is increases the normal attack damage dealt by commanded troops by 90%. That's very good, but at the same time increases the cavalry attack by commanded troops by 1800% for 5 seconds. In a cavalry lineup, that would be very, very good, as I talked about before. However, in this lineup, we're looking for spears and spears only, so that is very negligent when it comes to this type of lineup. Looking at the skills now, or the bonuses now, we have 120% health. The cav attack, which we'll not use, of course, but has the spear attack of 320%, which is very, very good. So I do like the normal attack damage increase and the bonuses here. There's something left to be desired for the other two, because they don't help you out at all in a spear lineup. Looking at Patello, the first thing that I see is he is only at he's not awakened yet. He's only at level 60, so you can't get him the 21,000 troops as you can with Salma. So even just talking about that without any looking at his bonuses and knowing what Salma is definitely over Patello at this point. Looking at Patello's now, increases the normal attack damage dealt by commanded troops by 90%. I think that's what we just saw over here is a normal attack, same thing, and increases the spear attack by 1800% for 5 seconds. So that's exact same thing over here, except for its spear, and we really like that. Now if we go down and we look down here, we see the exact same numbers as well. We see the 320% spear attack and the total health. So they are identical. The only difference here is that Patello doesn't bring, he brings 10,000 less troops, but his as a negative, but as a positive, he gives 1800% attack for 5 seconds. So when we're looking at both of these, which one would I want? I'm kind of leaning towards Salma just because of the extra troops that she gets, but I do love that 1800% for 5 seconds. So when that does proc off, those 5 seconds are going to be hurting your enemy quite significantly. Looking over here at Miranda, she increases the spear health for commanded troops by 1200% and reduces the infantry attack for targets by 1200%. So this is actually pretty good too. I like this because this is actually, it's an anti-counter. So if you're being attacked by cavalry, you don't really care because you're countering those cavalry. If you're being attacked by spear, then this bonus here, or the skill here, doesn't help you at all. But so you're pretty much even up with those, but you're actually still getting the spear health, but you're just losing out on that extra part of the skill. However, if you're getting countered by the infantry, then whatever their attack is, they're losing 1200% for 5 seconds. So they might be not doing any damage at all on you for 5 seconds when Miranda gets her skill up. So that's pretty significant to be able to hold them off for that long, for 5 seconds. And she also gives across the board 240% to all stats. So that's really nice as well. I kind of like this skill better than, actually even better than these ones over here, just the skill wise. And then looking down the bonuses, they're kind of about the same, just a little more attack over here. Looking at Marjorie now, let's go over to her, where you can see that she heals wounded soldiers of allied troops with a max of 5 targets in a circular area, and the healing coefficient is 400. So if you have all your troops put together, amassed together, you're going to get 5 of those. It'll heal in that area. So it should. The problem is if there's 10 or 12 of you in that area, you know, your allies, you may not be one that gets healed. So there is that kind of a downfall with that. But it's healing. But the upside is it's healing your allies as well, so it's keeping everybody in the battle. So that's good. When you have her maxed out at gold, what you see, I don't have that. She would actually get 120% total health and total attack. So those are some decent bonuses. There's nothing too crazy compared to these other three that we just looked at. Then we go over here to Drake down here in the bottom left, and Drake deals skill damage to the target, coefficient of 175, which is not very good as we've seen before. Some of those coefficients are actually a lot better than that, 300, 400. Even Danny was like 1200s, which is quite OP. And then just quickly looking over here at Julian, you can see 425 on one of his skills. So Drake, that 175 is not very good. At the same time, though, increases the spear defense of the troops by 600% for 5 seconds. Again, not very good. We've seen the other bonuses have been a lot better than that. His spear health, defense, and attack, if once you get him up, I believe he's going to be about, I want to say it's about 320% as well. Same thing as you would see like with Selma. So those bonuses would be very good across the board if you're going to have him in there just for pure stats. But his skill damage skills up here are not very good. So I would probably eliminate him even if you had him at gold quality. Looking at Annie now, she heals wounded troops under her command by 1300 of coefficient. That's really, really good. That's a really nice heal. And if you throw in some spear health at 240, then some total defense and attack, or total defense and attack for 120%. Those are some decent bonuses that can be used in your lineup. So I do like that. Obviously, with Marjorie, you're getting five different targets. With her, you're getting your single one, whatever single target that is. Well, obviously, it's going to be this one here, the Annie one, that it would actually help keep those spear alive, so you'll be able to use them quite significantly longer. And then looking at Jamie here, I do really like Jamie's skill. He's I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger. It's a little harder to see because there's so much going on in here. But increases the spear attack. Right off the bat, I love this. Spear attack at 1800% for 5 seconds. That's phenomenal. If he just had that alone, this skill would be very, very good. Then he also it has a little star here. When you see that, that means it's a really good extra bonus. When the commander is deployed, so when you have Jamie in that lineup, there's a 30% chance to deal a crit damage. And crit damage is usually about 120%. Usually, unless it's otherwise specified. And this one, it says when commander troops perform a normal attack. So 30% chance when a normal attack goes through. So you're going to do lots of normal attacks in a battle, as you as you well know. So if the 30% chance of getting this off, the crit damage is actually 200%, not the 120. So that's even more of a bonus. Not sure why it's in red. That's very interesting that they have it that way. Looking at the bonuses down below, we have spear defense, we have spear health, and then we also have some total attack, so very nice there. I believe this is probably the best commander in the spear lineup here, so I'm going to put him over here because I think he is probably the best one, the one you're going to have at the beginning. Because you want this to proc off, and you want him to, obviously that 30% here is going to, every time there's an attack, there's a chance for that to happen. And then with the last one we have here is Julian, which we had I briefly looked at with the coefficient damage of 625 to the target troops, but it also increased the normal attack damage by 40% as well. So the normal attack, as we had talked about over here with Jamie, when that goes off, you're going to get 40% for 5 seconds. Plus his bonus, he actually buffs all of the troop types, so you're going to get that 240 regardless of who or which lineup you put him into. So that's not bad as well. I do like that. So depending if you had him in another lineup, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I do like that as well. So when we're putting this together, this is kind of how I would like to do it. All right, so these are the two lineups that I would prefer. And I know I had said probably just going to do one lineup, but I think two is pretty good. So if you do have enough spear, the tier 4 spear in your trained ups ready to go, then these are the two lineups I would suggest. First here, the obvious I said before was Jamie, just because his skill is really OP. The only problem that Patello has is he's just not awakened right now, which he might be soon. So if he is, as soon as he is awakened, then it's a no-brainer to put him in here as well for his skill and for the bonuses he provides. And then I like to put Marjorie in here for the healing. So I think this is very good as well. If you don't have her unlocked, or maybe you have her at great quality and she's not really given much bonus or something like that, then maybe you could substitute Annie in here as well. Then at the top one up here, I'm kind of thinking of Miranda to go first. because she can get this bonus off and try to be able to stop an infantry attack if they're being countered, so then you could save some of those troops. And then Salma here will actually do that normal attack damage along with her bonuses, and then Annie will actually put that healing coefficient on in the end, so then it can go back to Miranda and get a lot of bonus damage there as well. I did take out Julian. You don't have to do this. You could put him in there. My issue with Julian is he only does 240% spear attack here with his bonus. His actual normal attack damage bonus is only 40%, which is kind of low compared to, say, Salma, which was 90%, so more than double of what that is. But the coefficient here of 625 skill damage, I do like that. So he does have one in there that's pretty good. So, but I would probably go these ones here, and then if you, depending on who you have gold or you can swap in, Julian could be that same one. So I hope this gave you a little insight of which spear commanders to put in your lineups. Like I said, you can interchange some of these depending on who you have gold, who you have up to. Getting the more troops in here. Like you can see Miranda, I only have 15,000. So just depending on how you have them going in there. So until next time, Mac out.